Is this recording? I think it might. Ladies and gentlemen, as funny and as I don't know what to call my life at this point, but it is something, definitely. Lady luck keeps on giving its signs, if there are any, that Lady luck is by my side unconditionally, and that she's supporting me through everything, because of which, again, the story of the audio not getting recorded continues. Previously when I tried to record the audio, I was trying to record it, I think 2 days back, not 2 days back, yesterday only itself. So again, I had my same setup. I was in my studio, which means I was wearing my helmet and I was using my portable mic. So in my extremely noise cancelled and well insulated studio, which does not have any noise seeping through it and which cancels all the background noise, I was trying to record it. But this time the recording was getting stopped once I obviously start the recording on my phone, and I hit record, and then I obviously, because I have to keep my phone in my pocket, I turn the lock screen off, and it starts to I hope that it's recording. So when I used to turn the lock screen off, the recording used to pause. But since by that time I have already kept the phone in my pocket, and as you might be familiar, I take this recording thing extremely seriously, because of which I delegate a lot of time in my daily routine to recording this broadcast, which is when I'm traveling on my bike to my house. Anyways, so again I hit record at least 4 times is what I remember, and it was not recording. I yapped for obviously 1 hour 15 minutes, out of which this time only 30 seconds were recorded. So that's a new personal record. Right now I am in my car. I am going to pick up one of my family members. I think I have 15 to 20 minutes or maybe even 40 minutes depending upon the traffic for me to reach there. So I decided, why not broadcast again? And since I take this extremely seriously, I am very regular with my schedule. And then also, the reason why I did not record this for the past 4, which is also the reason why I did not record this for the past 4 days, by the way. But again, why I did not record this for another 4 days because I thought that naturally, because I had yapped into it and I was first of all not able to get anything recorded, and then I had recorded only what I recall now is a 20-minute clip. So because, as I've mentioned multiple times in recorded and non-recorded audios, is that I'm an extremely self-optimistic and a self-confident individual. That's why I naturally disregarded my recording altogether, and I thought that since again I have recorded it, it must not be good. But then not a few days back, when I was trying to record this in the first place, that is, I think yesterday is what I remember. So yesterday I remember going through my voice recorder, and then I saw this 20-minute clip, and after listening to it for about 7 minutes, I thought that this is a piece of this is a masterpiece. This is a piece of art, and that it should be preserved and broadcasted to everyone. And like any reasonable and any person who is slightly self-aware about himself, I listened to the first 7 minutes out of the 20-minute recording, and I immediately thought that once I broadcast this on my YouTube channel, it will gain 20 million subscribers, and the video itself will get 15 million likes, and I'll get a collaboration call from Mr. Beast. But with this time I will reject, because after listening to the first 7 minutes out of the 20-minute recording, I think that I'm better than Mr. Beast. Keep in mind that I've never listened to the last 13 minutes. To be fair, I've listened to the last 7 seconds, I think, of the recording, and that was just to check where I have ended it or how much part is recorded. So keep in mind, out of the 20 plus minutes recording, I have listened to only 7 minutes 7 seconds, and I've made my mind that once this video is uploaded, my channel will get 25 million subscribers overnight. This video itself will get 20 million views, and I'll get a collaboration call from Mr. Beast, to which this time I will reject. This is really what happens with me, because I am a person of great reasoning, and I have a very stable mentality. I decide to operate in the grey area, because of which I either think too high of myself, or I think that I'm a complete piece of crap and I don't deserve anything good, and whatever bad happens to me happens because I deserve it. And whenever something good happens to me, I think that it is just the calm before the storm, and this is just happening so that life is trying to play a trick with me to get me to be happy and then disappoint me altogether. So the reason, again, I had made a promise that, and I think I have said this in the first half. I remember yapping about it. I don't know if this has been recorded or not, but I remember saying that I'm gonna do this regularly. I'm gonna do this every day, or traveling on the bike, going to and fro, and I'll compile this and I'll develop a upload schedule, and I'll do daily uploads. But then it has been 6 days from my 6 days is what I remember again. 6 days since my last recording, and I'm recording this only for the second time. This is because I have I remember last time when I was trying to record this, I'm obviously speaking in English, and English is not my primary language, and I used to think that the reason in the serious version that I recorded of this broadcast, I was going all in, explaining why I am recording in English, and why I think English is a very important language that one should know, and I had a really good hold over English. But in the last 2.5 years, I've only been communicating in Hindi and Marathi. I haven't gotten any real chance to speak in English or communicate in English for more than 30 minutes in a day. So I thought that let's broadcast this in English, and this in the serious version. This was really an attempt of mine to curb my overthinking and express my feelings, and I don't know what really. Thank God it wasn't recorded, or thank God whatever was recorded, and thank God that my overthinking kicked in and I decided that I shouldn't do a serious version of this stuff, because I already am a creep. I don't want people to think of me as a self-absorbent creep, which I obviously I am. So that's the story. So that's the reason why I was recording this in English. And by the way, I didn't even complete that point. See, this is what happens. This is what happens every time. I think faster than what I speak. I behind every sentence that I speak, there is this constant. I don't know what you can call this. There is this constant analyzer, if I can say so, or a split personality, or a self-critic, or whatever you can call it. There is constantly this thing in my head where it constantly keeps on analyzing, constantly develops. So it's like whenever I say a certain sentence, there are 1,000 thoughts between it, and I am forming a sentence. I'm thinking in my mother tongue. I'm translating it to English. I'm grammatically correcting it, and then again at the same time I'm thinking whether or not this is making sense. But again, this broadcast is not for me to make sense. It is for me to express my feelings, is what I've convinced myself I'm doing. And yeah, that's the reason why you might be listening to this word, because 1,000 times in every sentence, it's like every sentence I speak, I feel like it's the need for me to explain what I'm trying to say. This is what happens with me every time. I really try to be a good speaker. That's why I personally think that it's a need for me to when I'm trying to speak with someone, I really am of the of the thought process that I shouldn't waste the person in front's time. The person to whom I'm speaking to, I shouldn't waste his or her time or their time. I don't know. So while I'm doing so, I feel the need that I want to make a single point. Okay, so I decide that it's necessary for me to tell them why I am why I have decided to show my very visually pleasing and very appealing face in front of them, and why I have decided to bestow my extremely melodious voice onto their ears. So basically, I give an explanation for a single point that I'm trying to make. And when I'm explaining, so the explanation can also be a one line, right? Like for example, I'm speaking with someone, I can say, hey, I'm taking your time up because this is what I feel and this is what I'm trying to achieve. That's it, simple conversation. Game over, everything is sorted. But no, not with me. When I speak something, okay, when I'm trying to give this explanation, I to a certain word, when I'm trying to speak, I make up my mind that okay, I've offended the person in front by saying this. So then I end up explaining that particular word also, why I said that word. Then again in the next sentence, one more word comes in my mind which I decide for myself that again I need to explain that as well. So this goes on, and then the explanation itself takes up 5 to 6 minutes. I don't actually make up my point, and because I'm trying to make the person feel that I'm valuing his or her time, they end up thinking that I wasted, that I'm not made any point, and I'm just trying to make some sort of a rubbish conversation. That's what I really do. So that's also the reason why, see, today I think my brain is in a very right space, because I'm actually remembering the point that I was making. That is the reason why I constantly keep on taking up a point, and then whenever I say something, again my brain decides that this needs the explanation, and I actually get lost in the weeds, and I don't end up making any point, and I just one thing leads to another. I get deviated from my point, and because again I'm thinking fast in what I can speak, I forget the original point, because right now my brain is focusing on what I need to say ahead, need to analyze, and I don't know what all thoughts are going in my mind. So the original point that I was trying to make is that why I did not stick to recording every day. Me not being able to record, that's an entirely different point. That is still acceptable for me, obviously, because I am the only one who matters at this point, and yes, I am not a self-absorbed person. So because I am a person who jumps to conclusion on the basis of facts, and because I'm a person who operates in a grey area, who thinks optimally of himself, that's why before even listening to the audio recording, I made up my mind that okay, I've done a pretty terrible job and I'm not going to be able to do this. And that's why I thought, and then when I was thinking about this, I had a brainwave that maybe I should record this in my in the language that I'm more comfortable speaking in, which is either Marathi or Hindi. So I made up my mind and I was like, okay, let's record in Hindi this time and see how it turns out to be. But then I wasn't able to record because of some reasons, and then on the same day I came across my previous recording, which I thought I did a pretty good job recording, and so now I've decided to record in English again. So this completely, this completely justifies my point when I'm trying to say that I'm recording this in English, because I want to improve my communication skills in English for some reason, and I want to be better in speaking in English, and I wish to have a schedule in English. This is actually this is the real reason, and not because I think that when I speak in English I'm more cool and I'll appeal to a larger audience, and I think that I'm more sarcastic in Hindi in English, sorry, and none of those reasons, because I am a very reasonable person. I am not at all self-absorbent. I don't have two personalities in me, and this is definitely not the God complex that I have, and I am not at all an attention-seeking person. Completely reasonable and nothing serious. So there we are, people. So right now, because I have to pick up my family members, I am driving a car which is obviously of my family members. This is not my own car. I've not bought this car, so no reason to think that, oh, he's so rich and he has a car and what a self-made man, and he has a bike and a car and all that at such a young age. And no, I'm just using one of my family members' cars, and I'm using this because I'm supposed to pick one of my family members who happens to be nearby my workplace, and because it's really near to my workplace, but since I'm driving a four-wheeler, it's very difficult to navigate through traffic, and that's why it's gonna take what I think will be a good time of 30 to 45 minutes. So there we are. That's the story. So I completely deviated from my point. So the point I was trying to make is, that's why I am in my car right now. I'm simply recording. Hopefully, my car has a infotainment system. It has a feature to pick up and reject calls, and that feature, because of that feature, there is a mic right above my head. At least I think it's a mic. So that's why when I've connected my phone to the Bluetooth of the car, I'm naturally assuming that it's recording to that mic, and that's why you might be listening to slightly lesser voices. So there's that. My stupid alarm has gone off, and I think the recording is paused again. I need to pull over, I need to turn off the alarm, and I need to do whatever the alarm says. Hold on a minute. Oh, weirdly this is still recording. God damn. Either Lady Luck is really by my side, or something terrible is going to happen once I broadcast this onto the YouTube channel. But let's again not get lost in overthinking. Let me just quickly do this. Let's go into this app. Come on, load. Okay, it has, oh damn, it seems luck is really by my side, because this app normally takes a lot of time to load, and I've actually finished doing what I was supposed to do on that app, and surprisingly 20 minutes of my audio, what I'm trying to yap, has actually been recorded this time. God damn. Now I'm again thinking whether I should, record the first 20 minutes, upload the first 20 minutes differently, and then record this this thing differently. And by the way, I have not even decided the name for my YouTube channel yet. I have not even decided how I am going to. Obviously, this is what I have not even researched how I'm going to publish this video. I'm simply recording it. Right now, what my mindset is that I'm gonna. I think I've said this in the previous video, but I've yapped so many times and I've failed to record this. I don't really remember what all I've recorded, and because I'm an extremely self-analytical person, is what I claim to be, and I'm not at all overconfident. And what all I've actually not bothered to listen to what I have recorded. I've just simply hit record again and I am yapping again, but only this time it is actually recording. So yeah, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. This is what happens, I've explained this, but I forgot what I was saying. Goddamn. So yeah, YouTube channel. Yes, I've not even decided a name. I don't have any strategy regarding broadcasting the content. I have not researched anything at all, because I think that I'm gonna give this channel any particular name, and just by the name of the channel is going to be the most searched channel on YouTube, and then people are going to come across my videos and I'm going to become a celebrity overnight, and Mr. Beast will call me for a collaboration because my videos have gotten 25 million views and I've gotten 30 million subscribers overnight, and he'll call me, and this time I'll obviously reject, because I think I am more worthy, or more, I think of myself to be better than Mr. Beast, because I personally, without any substantiation, without any public review, without any peer review, without any sort of review, I've decided that the first 7 minutes of my 20-minute recording, which I don't know when I'm going to publish, is automatically worthy of the hype. So yeah. That's that. So that's the story. I am still on my way, and in my serious version, really, when I had decided that, when I initially started recording, when I was like, I'm gonna treat this as a psychological exercise, and I had seriously taken into consideration, because I keep on thinking, so over time I develop a numbness, so I thought like, I should do something about this, because this is actually hurting me. And then obviously this was me operating like a reasonable person for a little time, but obviously I am better than everyone, and I'm not at all self-absorbent, by the way. So naturally I thought that, oh my god, I'm not a loser. I don't need to express my feelings. I need to be sarcastic. I need to be funny. I really need to be a person who, I don't know, hides his emotion and tries to be funny all the time and doesn't care about his mental health at all, because caring for mental health is for losers. This is sarcasm, by the way. I have never explained sarcasm, because when I'm criticizing myself, it is okay to be sarcastic, but then, because who will get offended because I am criticizing myself, right? And I'm not getting offended. But then when I put forward such general statements, I need to be careful. I need to give disclaimers, and because this video is gonna reach a large number of audiences, and I'm gonna become a very big celebrity, and whatever I say, whatever I do is actually going to matter. And yeah, no, I'm going the right way, thank God. So yeah, so that's why I need to give disclaimers. in the unpublished videos or audios or broadcasts and all that. So for the name of the YouTube channel, I'm really thinking of combining two words, because the creative extent to which my brain goes is, in order for you to name anything, or in order for you to do creative, you need to, combine two words and make them make sense, and that's how you'll be regarded as an extremely creative person. That's the creative extent to which my brain goes. So I have not decided to give this a very generic name, such as whatever my name is, and after that broadcast, or let's say my name is Champu's broadcast, Champu's vlogs, Champu's logs, nothing like that, because obviously, so I am gonna think of something. I had thought of two names. After combining two names, I thought, let's keep this name as broadcastolog, like a combination of broadcast and blog or vlog or monologue, any of those words, a combination of all three things actually. Broadcastologs, broadcastolog, or broadcastologs. The second name that I had thought of was, I don't remember. I think in that monologue was first and broadcast was second, so it was something like, monolodcast. See, when I had named this, when I stopped the recording, I thought that this is stupid. Who the hell in their right mind thinks of such names? But then now that I've said that out loud again to the broadcast, I think that it's cool now. This is what happens. In corporate life, I'm actually a very decisive person. I can take right decisions, when it's related to someone else, and when there is this factor that my decisions are going to affect a certain group of people. My decisions happen to be on point. I don't, even though some set of people involved in that decision, or to whom that decision is going to affect, might feel bad momentarily, but then eventually they'll get the point and they'll understand. So, yeah. What was I trying to say? God damn, I am sick and tired of myself, really. Why am I like this? Why can't I stick to the point? What was I saying? What was I thinking about? What was I gonna say? I'm hardly 5 minutes from where I'm supposed to go, and I'm about to reach. What was I saying, man? I forgot. God damn. What was I saying? Yeah, the names. So I think I'll just stick to these two names. What was the first name? Monolodcast. Oh no, this was the second name. Second name was Monolodcast, and the first name was Broadcastolog. Broadcastolog is sounding silly now. It's not silly actually. My extremely unique and extremely reasonable brain is thinking right now that since the word monolodcast has the word Lord in it and has mono, so some might think of this as some sort of mono also means one or single, and Lord obviously means Lord. So some might think that this guy is so optimistic and all that, and he is referring to himself as a single lord, and he wants to, and he is extremely creative with his naming. So he has decided to, instead of naming his broadcast as Single Lords Broadcast, he's actually given a creative thought to it and decided to name it Monolodcast. No, not at all. The creative extent to which my brain goes has simply decided to, if you remember correctly, I don't really know what this is. Is it an epilogue? Is it a monologue? Is it a broadcast? Is it a vlog? It is a blog. Is it a blog? Or is this some simple sort of voice recording? But the number of videos, and I know I said that I have not researched this at all, but yeah, I have actually. It actually matters to me whether or not whatever I am saying is at least factually correct, because I really don't want to get into trouble with whatever I say. And yeah, and as you might have understood by this point, people's opinion do matter to me, and that's why I don't want people to be making fun of me because I don't know the right words. So that's why, as per the research that I've done, whatever I'm doing might either be named as one of the two, monologue or epilogue, or a broadcast or a vlog, really. But for a vlog there needs to be a video, and also to upload on YouTube, because that's all I know about YouTube. You need a video to be playing in the foreground. So I'm just gonna search for copyright free videos on YouTube, and I'm gonna put them on this recording, and I'm gonna just upload it onto a YouTube channel that's gonna be named Monolodcast. That's a very good name. Goddamn, I hope it's unique. So that's pretty much about it. I think I'm gonna do this consistently now, because believe it or not, it really makes me feel good when on a serious note, it really makes me feel good when I put forth whatever I'm trying to feel, and I'd come across this I'd come across this quote or a saying where, you know, the person who had written it said that when you either try to write or speak out what you're trying to say, your brain actually decides to filter what thoughts are important, what thoughts are not. But let's face it, that's really not the reason. I don't really want to confront my emotions. That's why I need a distraction all the time, and that's why, because I am extremely mentally stable and I like to voice my emotions, I have decided to not speak about it. Instead try to be a fool. Not fool, really. I'm not a fool. I'm just someone who yaps while he's thinking that he's actually making a point, but I really am not making a single point. So that's a good recording. I think I can talk for another 15 minutes, but I don't have the time to talk for another 15 minutes because I have reached where I was supposed to reach, and now I need to return to being the guy who everyone thinks I am, but even I don't know whether I am or I am not that guy. Thank you, Lady Luck, for supporting me this time and actually helping me record 34 minutes, oh my god, of what I was trying to yap. And I'll probably squeeze out some time out of my extremely vacant schedule and get this out on the YouTube channel that's now gonna be named Monolodcast. Thank you and goodbye.